Welcome again, everyone. Jerry's Old Guy Review with the MST cfx-w, which I know a lot of you loyal viewers have been like, what the hell? He shows us a driving video. He talks about this truck. What the hell? Where's the review on it? He opened the box and told us some stuff. Where is it? Well, in a complete 360 back-assward fashion, I decided to drive this truck a bunch before I got around to talking about it. Now, I've put 4 battery packs through it, I think already. Complete battery packs where I was just out having fun. Now, my driving video day, my girls were out of control. I had my slash out earlier in the day, and fast trucks make them crazy. So all the etiquette normal for crawling trucks, they were sassafrasses all day. So I had already driven this truck, I think, twice before I did the other battery packs in it. And I said, I'm not done with my detailing yet. So all my underside detailing, it got a little action. You know, sometimes you go through the work of detailing and you're going to mess it up. Yeah, but I designed, the original thought was I was going to make it an expedition truck. But, you know, once I saw this sexy articulation out there, now I don't know. It's still a little, it's too high. And it's top heavy. But other than that, you know, for a $359 kit, which, yeah, for a off-brand, so to speak, was a little bit, but I wanted this truck for the body alone. And the Jimny has been so good. It's just such a fun little truck. I said, MST, I'm giving you a shot again. To the point where I'm thinking of getting the CFX with the straight axles just to see. This has portals. All metal gearing. So it is, even with 4 battery packs through it, it's a little bit loud. But there has been some amazement with this truck. So let's talk about what I did so far. We're going to look at the truck, then I'm going to show some of the stuff I did for detailing, and which, you know, that is the joy of trying new things out. Not only vehicles, but detailing techniques. You know, something I did just for protection turned into just off the wall. So right now, I've spent $499.96 on this truck. I had the truck kit that I wanted with the body I wanted, but I put all of my own electronics in it, which some of it was pretty inexpensive. And we'll cover that right now. So we're just going to get right under the hood. Because this, I love. I wish we would do some front mounts. So here we go. I tried out these Eco Power servos from A-Main. You know, they're $39, but I've got them in 2 other rigs, one of them being my Wendigo. And if it can stand up to the beating I've given that poor truck, I was going to try them again. I got an RC 4-wheel drive crawler motor, but I went different because it was going to be an expedition truck. I got a 20 turn. I wanted it to be a little peppier. But as we've seen from the driving video, it does pretty good crawling around. You know, of course, the 1080p or 1080. I don't know why I call it a P all the time. because I wanted good control. I got my nice little inexpensive $40 Spectrum radio. I've got that in a couple rigs now. It's done very well. But, you know, everything else, the shocks are adorably small, but they're 2-stage, and you can tinker around with them. You get a nice little, they come on a card, and it tells you the sizes and whatnots. They're labeled, so once you take them off the card, you know what color shock springs you have. These are silvers and reds for the back. The fronts I left completely screwed down because they were kind of high up, but the cage on the back was a little heavy, so it needed some cranks. You know, they suggested their suggestions. I went with my own. I decided for the first time I was just going to paint the frame rails in a sparkly blue in my rim paint, so we'll see how long those hold up. But portal axles in the rear. You've got nice little transfer case, which all metal gears. You've got the transmission, again, all metal gears except for the spur. You know, and then you're just your standard fare. It's got portals on it, but it's got the servo on axle, which, yeah, that's old school technology, but we're combining old school and new school, so to speak. You know, the headlights and everything, there's taillights in the back. We'll get around to the back here in a minute. You know, you've got the buckets for the headlights. Like I told you before when I unboxed it, these have holes in the side, but they're solid. So you get these nice stickers. So I drilled a hole in it before I put the stickers on, so I can try to stick a light in the back here. Got that nice little access hole, so to speak. There it is. So I will possibly try to put some lights in it. You know, the grill, the stickers in these kits are phenomenal. I mean, just like we talked about these before, all the latches, the molds for the latches to stick on are just almost perfect. These are stickers, even though I painted them from the inside. So being that I was going to go with an expedition vehicle, you know, I chromed up all the nice stuff just to make it look really nice before I weathered it and made it look all dusty and dirty. But, you know, like I say, it's always in the details, just that little bit. You know, chrome wiper arms, because that's the way they would have been. And the windshield wiper's always attached to the back, so yeah, just a little bit. But now this color, this kind of brushed aluminum, I painted all my stuff with this. This is my go-to with the chrome. So you see how the mirrors look, how chromy they are. Well, kind of, sort of. It doesn't look as good. The running boards are with that same chrome. This is the same chrome here, but I went to just protect it with some flat, and it really flattened it out. So it went with brushed aluminum. I did my Barcelona red Toyota color for my D-rings and my diff covers. But I wanted to go with the traditional, the blue and the white. The white roof is this rim paint I'm always talking about. It's matte, but it's flexible. It's removable coating. So hopefully this roof holds up pretty good. But then I can always just tape it off again and touch it up if I need to. Boom. But the color, I went with kind of a speckled metallic underneath the blue. I kind of did, I guess it splattered a little more than I wanted it to. But, you know, I was trying to make it flashy. You know, if it was going to be an expedition truck, that's why I put these stickers on the side. I haven't put any more on. You know, make sure you pay attention to your screws. So when you spend all the time 3M rubberized undercoating something, you don't put a screw through your snircle. And then that's what the wheels were just like the front bumper. They came out with this, this makes it look a little fancier than it is. But it's a flat. Now it's flat. I'm still doing all these individual pieces. I think that might be a boo-boo. I'll see when I paint it straight. But painting all this by hand, it's just taking a while. Did this in the rubberized paint too, just to throw a little color back here. Same thing with the taillights are inserts, so I painted those pieces chrome. Still painting that. So excuse me, but here is the coup de grace. Plain old black plastic axles. I took them, put them together, and painted them. And this is just a gunmetal metallic kind of color. So it makes those those rims look like they're fancy aftermarket ones. Same thing when I painted the diff cover. Used the Sharpie on the MST. Left the screws black because that looks good in my opinion. But then it's already been, the front is, I can't motor or servo on axle, covers up all my nice work, but getting it all scuffed up. The side panels, which are nice and beefy for your electronics, and honeycombed, that you have to screw those are only held on if you're screwing on the Nerf bars, which they're always too long on the MST. So I cut them down so it's flush with the body. But even with the rock crawling, I haven't scuffed up the belly pan yet because it sits up so good. Now, the backside's getting some action. Ooh, that one's scuffed pretty good. The rim paint doesn't hold up like the 3M rubberized undercoat does to getting beefed up on. But, this, for an inexpensive rig, was just neat. But yeah, what was that? RC four-wheel drive, that 20-turn motor, $11. $43 for a 1080. What is that Spectrum? An SLT, I think, or something like that? Radio gear. Oh, wait a minute. The radio gear was $43.99. The 1080 is $44.99. Maybe I got those backwards. The radio gear and the 1080, both of them, $40 range. Motor, $11, but there you've got the nice setup. The shocks are cute. They're little, and I think that's what helps with the bounce a little bit. 2-stage shocks. You've got basically a small, medium, and large, so to speak, with the thicknesses of the springs. But all metal gears in the transfer case, big beefy piece for connecting it to your transmission. Transmission's all metal gears. Portal, all metal gears. The only thing plastic gear-wise is the spur. Painted up the chassis a little bit. Did those chassis rails. Never did that before. But, even through 4 battery packs, the grease that comes with this kit is pretty skimpy. So I ended up using, the portals all have, good automotive grease in them. The red. So that's why I made sure I did all the guts of it first with all the grease. Because that black grease, it's basically just, wheel bearing grease, just like most everyone else's is. So, in my opinion, grease is grease. There's people that talk about, oh, it needs to be this and it needs to be that. I use a red all-purpose grease, and it seems to work great for me. And usually when I put it in some of these noisy trucks, like I did with the SCX-10-3, eventually everything quiets down. So, if you're concerned, you can pull your differentials apart and see how good your grease is doing. But like I said, grease is grease. But now, I got some wood this weekend, so hopefully I'll finish an obstacle that I love to not mention things and have you guys tell me about them. So there's an obstacle out back in the Versaplex that I haven't mentioned. And some of you guys have thrown out some, hey, I like your whatever, and it makes me smile that you're paying attention. So it's only got a ramp and the top right now, because I wanted to do one of those staircase kind of things. And wood is expensive. But I got me a bunch of wood. I'm going to cut up some pieces today to hopefully finish it. But so far, only the aftermarket tires on a lot of vehicles, or the stock tires if I really want to just give it the beans and force it over it, they just don't drive right up it. This truck, which, some people, ready to run, or kit tires suck and blah, blah, blah. So these, I think, are a neat tread pattern anyways. These tires, which are nice and soft, it went right up it. Right up it, no problems. Now I'm rethinking the Expedition vehicle. Now I'm wanting to see if I can somehow take all the spring. I can't do anything with the front. Maybe screw around with the spring rates on the, 8 different springs that are on this truck. And maybe try to lower it down a little bit and see what we can get out of it for a crawler. Because if it sat about here, I think it would stay really low. But it has now gone up 2 obstacles out back that nobody else has gone up with except for dedicated crawlers. So this truck right here has impressed me. So I'm going to slowly keep driving it, or slowly keep detailing it, and I'm going to keep driving it until I roll it over, and then I'll probably, want to start seeing what else I can do. But MST, you seem to be doing a great job in my book. And that's it for now. We will continually revisit this truck because I, once again, built it my way, did my own stuff to it. And MST has got somebody that's keeping their eyes on him right now. And I would completely, I will tell you that it is kind of a tough build. Even using power tools, the engineering that MST puts in these vehicles, it impressed me. Everything is very tight, very stiff. The plastics are nice and hard, which might not work out for me so good in the wintertime. We'll see what kind of temperature variance, if anything, breaks. But just the way they've engineered it, it's impressed me. So we are definitely going to keep our eyes on MST. And on the channel, we are going to keep our eyes on the cfx-w as we proceed along. So thanks, everybody. Talk to you later.